This is my life, this is my life. I'm Rkelly and this is my life. Grew up on the south side of Chicago, born in 1967. And my eyes have seen a lot of things coming up in the hood. Jeffrey Manors, Argyle Gardens, 63rd and Michigan. Oh, the south side wasn't no punk. Man, I tell you, I've seen a lot of junk, coming up. Been through a lot. My mom, my family, though we had not much of anything, we had family, we had us. We had love, and I believe, I know that that's what got us through, that's what landed me here. I fell from the sky, landed on the ground. All I know is, man, I was like a sea. I was like a fish in the middle of an ocean. And then I woke up as a whale in the middle of a pond. That's how it went down for me, man. I blinked my eyes, and next thing you know, I was in the midst of success, in the midst of drama, in the midst of rumors, in the midst of love, but in the midst of haters. But somehow, my gift, which was my music, my depth of struggle was fed into my gift, and somehow my gift ignited to the point where I was able to communicate with the world and ask the world to rescue me. And the minute I opened my mouth and started to sing, oh, that changed everything. And out of nowhere, I walked through the drug dealers, I walked through the pimps and the hoes and the hustlers, through the hood. The drugs was offered to me. I've been shot, I've been stabbed. But I still, to this day, made it free. Out of the slums, out of the alleys, out of the deep, 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 dark hood. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know just how I got here, just how I made it, just how I made it, just how I made it here. But I'm glad I did, I'm glad I did. All I wanted to do was music, ever since I was 8 years old. I could remember having a dream about being 20-something. And in that dream, I remember playing the piano, a white piano, hearing a melody. And the melody at 8 years old in my dream where I was 20 went, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And here 20 years later, 25 years later, I grow up, I become famous, and I'm sitting at a house where I bought my first piano, which was a white piano, and I began to play a song. I began to start writing on a song. And that same melody when I was 8 came to me. And I couldn't figure out where I heard this melody from. At first I thought I was still in this melody, but I come to realize that as the lyrics came to me, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Tear comes down my eye because I say, wow, I wrote this song when I was 8. But coming up in the hood, I saw so many things. But those so many things brought me all of my dreams. And now here I am today. Here I am today. I want to say I'm proud of my past. But more than I am proud, I'm more thankful. Because people ask me all the time, if you can go back in the past, what would you change? I say, I wouldn't change a thing. They say, what? All you've been through, you wouldn't change nothing? I say, no. They say, why? I say, why should I? Look at me. I'm strong. I'm wise. I'm appreciative. I don't take nothing for granted. My past shaped and molded me into who I am today. I think struggle is the best thing if you know how to deal with it, if you know how to overcome, if you know how to deal with your problems. Because if you know how to deal with your problems, and depending on how you deal with your problems, that will become the measure. That will become the measure of your worth. But you have to know how to deal with it. Anything that happened to me in my past, anything I've been through in my past, I look back behind me and I say, this is where God brought me from. The best gift in life is breathing in and out. So I'm very thankful. If I had nothing, if I never sold one record, I was always taught how to be thankful for the gift of breathing in and out. Because long as you can breathe in and out, you can make it. Ooh, you can make it. You can make it. You can make you can make it. You can make it as long as you're breathing, long as you're alive. You can make it. I always used to sing in the shower because I was too shy to sing anywhere else. So I was singing in the shower. I thought I sounded good, but my sister would always bam on the door and tell me to stop calling hogs, get out of the bathroom because she had to get in there. I looked at that like she was jealous and, just wanted to get in the bathroom, wanted me to get out so she can be in there 20 times as long as I was in there. So I thought that sounded pretty good. The shower gave me an echo, a reverb that allowed me to hear myself so beautifully, so clearly, that it gave me the confidence to walk out of the shower eventually and sing throughout the house. Of course, the house did not have the same reverb. Outside did not have the same reverb. But when I dropped out of high school and became a street performer, I was trying to find that reverb that could echo my voice, that could echo my life, so the world could hear the gift that I had in me. And people ask me to this day, what do you think about your success? How does it feel to perform in front of 100,000 people holding up candles where it looks like a sea of fire. I say, all of that's good and all, and I appreciate that, and I'm very thankful for being able to touch so many people with my music, with my songs. But I tell you, somehow I got that same feeling when I was a street performer down in the subways of Chicago. Yeah, that's right. I was a street performer. I was a street performer. I was a street performer. I was a street performer, and I will always be first, a street performer, because that allowed me to develop my craft, develop my gift. And besides, it's a great echo down there as well. It was a great echo down there, except for the L coming by. But when the L would come by, I would try to challenge that L and sing louder than the L, and the L would roar. And I would try to sing louder and louder and louder and louder. But the L would be going by. And I would get frustrated because how am I going to get my money if these people don't hear me singing, man? I wanted to tell people, what made y'all put an L here? Well, I'm trying to sing. But then I come to realize that, hey, sometimes you have to rise above the noise. Find a way to rise above the noise, Rob. And I tried to rise above the L. It still wouldn't work. So I became real slick. I would be singing like this. Someday the world would know my name. And I would be singing like this. Someday the world would know my name. And here comes the L, and here comes the L, and here comes the L. And I'd shut up until the L stopped. And when the L stopped, it became quiet again. And I would say, I know someday the world will know Robert's name. And the people would clap. Oh, I said, that is. I gotta wait till the L stop. That allowed me to develop my patience. Once I developed my patience, I come to find that I had learned how to sing with strength, because before I learned how to develop my patience, I actually learned how to sing loud, trying to sing over the L, which gave me strength in my voice, which gave me the ability to be able to ring out like a bell when I sing. It also allowed me to connect with people, because I would be singing my songs that I wrote, but I didn't feel there was a connection. The only time I felt the connection is when I started noticing people were coming down from work to catch the L, and they had McDonald's bags in their hands. And I was like, McDonald's. If I write a McDonald's song while these people are holding McDonald's bags in their hands, I'm gonna connect, because they're gonna laugh and they're gonna say, I can't believe this guy's down here with a piano and a chitlin bucket singing a McDonald's song, and I just came from McDonald's. They're gonna feel like I'm talking directly to them, and that's going to make the connection. So that's what I did. I went home, I said, Mom, I gotta write a McDonald's song. She said, well, you love McDonald's, you ought to be able to write a McDonald's song, that's your favorite restaurant. I said, that's what I'm gonna do. So I went in the room and I started messing with my little keyboard, Casio that is, and I said, McDonald's is the place for you. When your day is through, you can go to McDonald's and get yourself a Big Mac, a Big Mac. Order of fries, icy Coke with an apple pie. No one does it like McDonald's do. McDonald's and you. And the people would clap, and they would go in their pockets. Oh, I gotta pay this guy. This guy's too good. Oh man, I got McDonald's in my hand, and he's singing McDonald's. Oh no, he got to get paid. So people started pulling out 50s. I went from making maybe $10 a day, from being there from 9 to 5, to making $400 to $500 a day because I made the connection. Now that I know how to make the connection, I took it to the next level. I hitchhiked all the way to LA, even on a motorcycle. Yeah, man, back on some guy's motorcycle. 18-wheeler truck, broken down van, got me to LA, where I lived on Venice Beach for like 6 months. I'm talking about the sand part. Yeah, I lived on the sand part of Venice Beach. There was a bleacher and there was a basketball court. And I would sleep under the bleacher, and I would wake up and I would play basketball with the guys that played basketball. Oh, and I would be killing them. They'd be like, where did this guy come from? He's here every morning playing basketball with us. And it was interesting because I would play basketball, and then I would go and I would street perform with this guy that skates with the good top on Venice Beach. Yeah. And it was amazing times, because those were the times when I was paying my dues. That's right, I was paying my dues. That's right, I was paying my dues. My dues. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to pay your dues. You cannot just wake up and be successful. There's no real success without testimony. The depth of your testimony determines the height of your success. It's not where you are today. It's not how successful you are today. It's what did you do? Where did you go? What did you go through? Where have you been to get to this point? That's the engine. I learned a long time ago, after performing on Venice Beach, after being a street performer in Chicago, I went to every talent show, trying to win, but I'd lose all the time, especially in LA, because at this time, LA was a place of image. You had to look to par, not just sound good. And all I had was basketball gear. And I would do really good in the talent shows, but my image, I looked like a hooper because I was at the time. So I'd lose. But don't feel for me, because, see, losing is only temporary. Losing, I looked at as a rehearsal. We all lose in rehearsal all the time, over and over and over and over again, until we get it right. And that's the point of rehearsal. You rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. You mess up, you mess up, you mess up, mess up, until you get it right. But LA, street performing, the doors being closed, the no's and all of those things, that was my meal ticket somehow. And I decided then, I didn't want to be stars in the sky, because though they amazed us as kids, but they sat there. They just sat there. And they sparked. But what amazed me, and what I've always wanted to study and always wanted to become, and I decided in my mind, and I told my mom, I said, Mama, I'm gonna be a shooting star. She said, what you mean, boy? I say, I don't really know what I mean, but I know one thing. I love the shooting star. Why would you love a shooting star? You don't get to see it much. I said, I know. It comes, it goes. You're lucky if you even see one. I said, I know. And it's not like the other stars. I said, I know. But that's the point. If I'm going to be a star, I want to be a shooting star. I don't want to be seen all the time. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about just sitting around in the sky. I want to soar through the sky, in and out of space. People would tell me, well, you could do that, sky's the limit. I say, no, it's not. I would always have my different sayings. I would say space is the limit, because if you can make it to space, you can travel anywhere. And my brain and my mind, it just always wanted to go places no man has gone, so to speak. I always wanted to be a scientist of music, not just music. I wanted to experiment with my music. I wanted to do R&B, but I also wanted to do the world's greatest. But at the time, I was told, no, you stay in this lane, R&B artist, you're going to do the artist thing, you're an R&B king, and this, that, and the other. I was never interested in being an R&B king. People put that label on me, and I appreciate anybody for saying that I'm the best at something, but I never wanted to be the best at one thing. I never wanted to be the best at R&B. I just wanted to be great at music. So I decided to do I Believe I Can Fly. I decided to go on and do the world's greatest. I decided to do country songs, pop songs, You Are Not Alone for Michael Jackson, because I never wanted to be trapped in a category. And somebody said, oh, that's the R&B king. I wanted to be known for just music. There's Mr. Music. He has no lane. The highway, the streets is his, if he wanted it to be. But I came up in Chicago, and the minute I was born is the minute my father left my mother. Yes, the minute I was born is the minute my father left my mother. And I used to ask my mother, where is my father? And every time she shunned the question, she pushed me away. She said, never ask me that again. Son, never ask me that again. But it was hard because I would always see, my brothers, their father would come by every now and then and, take them out, buy them things. And Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween. And I wasn't jealous of my brothers, but I would always, become curious and frustrated because, wanting a father, not having a father, first of all, it's automatically something missing in your life. There's no doubt about that. I always felt half. I always felt a hole in the situation. Though my mother was a mother, father, brother, sister, best friend, and everything to me, but she never was really a father. My sister's father would come by every now and then, but I never understood why my father was not with my mother. That was just something as a child I didn't understand. And it would hurt so damn bad. It would hurt so damn bad. And me being 8 years old, I would be so damn sad. But as I got older, I became closer to my mom. Me and my mom would go to McDonald's. before she go to work, before I go to school, and she would get us a Danish. It's all we could afford is a Danish and a cup of coffee, and we would split the Danish and cup of coffee. She wore this cheap lipstick, and she would put 3 creams and 6 sugars in the coffee, and she would stir it up. She would open the Danish, split it with the little plastic white knife. She had this cheap lipstick, and she would taste the coffee to make sure it was sweet enough. And she'd leave the ring of lipstick on the coffee from which she tasted the coffee. And I remember when she would give me mine, when I would sip from the cup, I would turn it around, and I would drink from her lipstick part. Because in a son-mother way, I had a serious, serious crush on my mom because she could sing her butt off. And I just looked up and down to her. I looked around. I looked everything about my mother. You know, I loved her. And I even asked her to marry me one day. I was like, nah. She said no. But you know what? I understood. I understood it. I took it well. And so when my mom passed, I was coming from my first concert from overseas, in which I wanted her to go with me because that was the only way I was going to get on the plane. So when I got back from overseas, and my mom passed the day I got back, 3 weeks later, I went away. She was heavyset. She was my mom. I come back. She was very, 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 very skinny. I had no idea she had cancer. I had no idea she was even sick. I went straight to Roseland Hospital on 111th in Chicago. And my sister and brother, I remember them to this day. Said, Mom's very sick. You might not want to go in there, Rob. Of course, you're thinking cold, you're thinking pneumonia, you're thinking she's going to be okay. So I go in the room, I peek my head in,